everyone. It's Friday. Yes, indeed, the 11th of April. I wanted to ask you something. Do you think I should open another channel on YouTube? One that's dedicated just to talking to folks about the Bible and about Christ and about life, and keep the Humble George channel just about gaming and maybe a little music, but things along that nature. Do you think that would be a prudent thing to do? It seems like there's a desire on my part and an anointing from God to do these conversations. I've been up since a while ago. It's 4:53 right now, but I've been up since 2 something. And I've got nice fresh coffee, so I don't have to hear that brewing. But we are doing a laundry. It's in the dryer. Let me see if I can shut it off. I fixed the dryer about 3-4 weeks ago. It wasn't drying the clothes. So what do? You go out and buy a brand new one that isn't going to be built as well as the old ones were. They're meant to be throwaways. They say we're having a problem with, with waste going to the dump. And the dumps are getting full, and then they're throwing it in the ocean. And the amazing thing, back in the 70s, there was a $500 fine. Was it a $50? Let's say 50 because I'm not sure, but I think it was quite a bit steeper than that as time progressed, for throwing a single piece of paper out of your car. Oh, and you don't think they're just going to pat you on the head and let you go. No. Oh no, they're going to rake in the money. Money. Well, yes, it's a good thing for people not to litter, because it's just wrong. It's just wrong to throw your shit out. It just shows that you have no respect for the land you live in. And you're just going to live that way. But you're creating an environment, a bad environment. Bear with me. I maybe should do this at a time when I'm not making a video, because I got to get everything sorted out now while it's still a little damp, so that when it dries out, it'll be just right. And the pockets in these, now let me explain something to you. You know, one thing leads to another always. These wonderful, wonderful, real uniforms. This isn't a Kmart special. These are real. Now you can't feel this material, but I can. I will tell you, it is far superior than what we have here in America. Far superior. This is just beautiful. And it's so comfortable. Now these are Kmart. This is probably made out of more plastic. If you were ever next to a fire, you could really end up in excruciating pain and probably either dead or you wish you were. But these are not. They're made, you can tell it's not got the plastic woven through it. Anyway, should I start another channel? How do I go about that? Well, I started one many years ago, all about having fun and gaming. Maybe I should do that. But you would be kind enough to let me know your thoughts, wouldn't you? Now, if you say, we're not into this at all, Humble, or no, leave it like it is, because we like the different, we never know what we're going to get on your channel. 1 minute we're in Arma, another minute you're building stuff out of bits and pieces for Assetto Corsa, or it might be up on your land that God has so graciously given you. or you might be playing music. Oh, speaking of playing music. After those, yeah, I want to, just let me pick up on yesterday while I'm picking up this stuff. And have you ever noticed your underwear is always inside out when it comes out of the dryer? Let me know. But my underwear, no matter how I put it in the dryer, always comes out inside out. How it turns the underwear inside out and leaves it that way is a mystery. But watch, we'll go through. We'll just let's see if it does. Up, look at that. It's a curious thing. I noticed it over the last few years. I go, they're always inside out. You say, well, Humble, when you take the bloody look, when you take them up, I don't mean to show you my underwear, but it's just the underwear. What the fuck? I mean, it's not evil. It keeps your balls from rubbing up onto your pants, and if you took a shit, at least it gives you a little bit of a spark arrestor so you don't tear your seats out of your car. Another one, inside out. This is great. Now he's got a channel about showing us his underwear inside out. All right, well, this isn't what it's all about. But I'll be done with this in a minute. I'm of the old school where they say, it hurts like a motherfucker when you hit your elbow. No, they don't say that. They say, when the work's done, then you play. I did not deliberately put these in inside out so I could make a video out of why is your underwear inside out in the friggin' deal. And why do we watch this on a YouTube video? Just give me a minute and I'll get done with this. Only takes a short amount of time. See, there's a two-edged sword to living by yourself. One is, nothing gets done that you don't do. So, once that understanding gets firmly printed in your mind, procrastination only causes all of a sudden there to be a whole bunch of stuff you've got to do. But if you don't procrastinate, but just nip it in the bud as you go along, this is a little bit damper than I really want this to be. This is nice though. What the hell? I don't want to hear the thing running. Where was I? Well, let's go back to where I do remember I was. The channel. And yesterday. And the music. Okay. I don't believe I watched the entire second video, but I will go back and do it today. Oh, that fella explaining how you need to get, I guess it's called advanced voice training. A whole subject I didn't even know existed. But vocalists, if they go to Berkeley, I would assume vocalists would be trained in this. And it teaches them how to be excellent singers. Well, I know you would say to yourself, well, I thought that excellent singers were just born excellent singers. Well, so did I. I thought so. But now I'm done with this. Nice and folded. Never did a laundry in my life till my mother died. And my first laundry came out pink because I put a red blanket in with the rest of the stuff, and I was in California at the time. But see how one thing leads to another. All right. I guess, well, I'll take this one off. All right. So, the guy was explaining that if you will match the sound of the tone you're playing, the note, with your mouth, with your voice, you'll be able to feel in your body where that sound lies. If it's a lower note, you'll feel it down here. Ever notice when you're at a concert and the bass is strong? I mean, you can almost get knocked down by it. So if you got a strong rig, that bass, I'll tell you what, you can take dishes off somebody's house shelves a block away with the Ampeg I've got upstairs. And I know for a fact because Billy Powers did that shit at a trailer park years ago, and we got our ass reamed for that. It was a good block away, and this lady lost a lot of really nice dishes. They just they went scooting off the shelves, trying to get to Billy. Yeah, well, they've made the floor, and that's as far as they made it, other than the trash can. No, they were fucking pissed. But I love telling you guys the stories. I shouldn't call them stories. They're real life accounts of my life. And I can, funny how your mind immediately rebuts you when you say something positive like that, and it points a finger at you and says, why would anybody think your life is interesting enough to want to hear? Well, that's a discouraging thought, isn't it? But then again, you think, well, hasn't YouTube kind of made celebrities out of millions of people who otherwise would be called ordinary people? But I'm getting to think there ain't no such thing as an ordinary person. I honestly think each and every one of us is so unique in our own right, whether you think you're unique or not. But you really are. You, just the way you are. I love how conversations like this develop and they start to move in a direction. In my mind, instantly, when I speak, there becomes different avenues. I don't see them as avenues, but there becomes different avenues in my mind of different directions to go with this conversation. And there's several I could choose from, not knowing where they lead exactly, but just having a little taste of where they branch off from here, and they're headed in some direction. I obviously can't go in all of them at once. There'd be chaos, and I wouldn't know. I'd be a babbling idiot. We're there? Are we? No. I thought to myself that today, that we, as people, have been taught, in many cases, to loathe yourself. Yeah, you. To think less of yourself. They put this badge on you, though. Here's the badge they put on you. You loathe yourself, so now you're not prideful. We get sold a crock of shit a lot in life. The crock of shit is presented to you on a silver platter. Would you like this crock of shit? Or do you see it, smell it for what it is? This is toxic. If I take this thought to myself and loathe myself, if I think about this for an instant, won't that render me unable to love my neighbor? Because I don't love myself. It's commanded in the Bible we're to love our neighbor as ourselves. And we're to do good unto our enemies. You don't repay evil for evil. I know that's grabbing the zipper on a great big bag of whoop-ass. That's a conversation we could go round and around the mulberry bush and probably just come out the other side worn out and never be any farther than we are right now. Zip that fucker shut and throw it in the side of the room. We're not even going there. That type of a thing is a distraction on where we're headed. So if you see yourself, I mean, it takes a little doing. All right, back to something that happened when I was 25 years old. It was August of 1980. August of 1980, And I had taken my 900 Kawasaki up to Sandy Pond on Lake Ontario for the day. I loved it up there. It was as close to an ocean as I could get, with hopefully no sharks. They have caught sharks in Lake Ontario and St. Lawrence from time to time. Now, some things people are afraid of. Some freak out over a spider or a rabbit. I don't know if anybody freaks out over rabbits, but you know, did you find something you're scared of, and snakes or whatever the deal. I've never been real keen on sharks. I mean, they're cool looking. They look like the F-16s of the ocean. They're kind of, I think they're cool. But I don't want one rubbing on me in the dark. I don't want to be out in Jamaica after 3 Mai Tais floating in the ocean and feel bump. No. Number one, keep your skank ass out the ocean in the dark, drunkie. Park your shit on in a lounge chair with some nice lady next to you and have a good conversation. Keep the fuck out of the ocean when you shouldn't be in there. All right? That's another story. But here, let's go to this story for now. It's kind of it is going to be what it's going to be because it is what it is. August, I'm up there at Sandy Pond. I'm enjoying the day, and all of a sudden, deep down in my soul, a cloud bank arrives. Actually, it did arise in real life too, but something was very, very wrong. All right, let's get to the bike. Got on the bike, helmet on. Oh, I love that motorcycle. Oh, it's like having a horse. Only better. It didn't shit in the yard. And it didn't bite. Or smell. Or have fleas. I don't know if they have fleas. They're cool. I like horses. But I got on a bike and I'm heading to Syracuse. Now it's a 65, 70 mile drive. And that's a long time being dragged through the wind. I didn't have a full face. I fucked the full face helmets. I didn't want all that shit. Fuck that. The closer I got to Syracuse, the more urgent this was deep down inside me. This now became a 5-alarm bell ringing in my guts. I could almost hear the sound of my motorcycle coming up Arsenal Drive to my house with my mother. I come up the old beaten to shit driveway. I just jumped off the bike, turned it off, and ran in the house to find my mother. Sitting in a chair, breathing in a bag. Oh shit. She's sitting in a chair, breathing in a bag. I go, Mom, what's the matter? She goes, something's very wrong. I think I'm dying. I said, why are you breathing in a bag? She must have either been duped by Satan or somehow she thought that she was giving herself oxygen when it was the absolute opposite of what she was doing. She had a heart attack. Scoot her into the car and take her to the hospital. Lo and behold, she had a heart attack. And when you looked at the diagnostic screen, as your doop 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 doop, it was going boop 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 boop. Oh fuck. Oh God. If I can say this without crying, it's going to be a miracle in itself. So after a few days, I had family back then, sister, and even my dad was very concerned about his ex-wife. Although they weren't together, there was I'm never going to get through this without crying. All right, let's cut to the chase because I don't want to cry on YouTube. Here's the deal. After a few days, it became obvious that, well, as I told you, we were dirt poor. And something about doctors realizing that the patient's dirt poor, you ain't going to nurse a lot out of them. They ain't got nothing to give you. Fuck it. Write this one off. Next. I hate to have that opinion of them, but it's not conjured up out of malice. It's what I've observed over time. If you ain't a candidate that they can nurse the living dog shit out of the insurance company, fuck you. We can't get rid of you fast enough. Next. Yep. And that was before Obamacare. But anyway, now you say, you're blaming the healthcare facilities for your mother's death. No, I'm not. Am I slightly bitter? No more bitter than when I was a tiny child and my rabbit got ripped to shreds in the yard by the post office guy's dogs. Rushed to the veterinarian where he threw it in a fucking shit can because it was a rabbit. We only take care of canines and felines. Fuck the rabbit. Okay, maybe that's one of the reasons I have such a warm feeling for rodents. I don't mean gerbils up the ass. I mean rodents. They're cute. They're just adorable. I find them adorable to see. They're just a fuzzy, cute little fucking thing. I don't know. I just do. I mean, some people just love their collie, or they love their chihuahua, or their cat, or their horse, or their birds. And that's all great. We should. They're wonderful. But each of us kind of has a preference on one thing or another, but I'm off the beaten path. So, in the due process of time, my mother comes home from the hospital. And she's pretty weak. She's told, no more of these fucking cigarettes. These sons of bitches, you've smoked these fuckers since you were 13. And she was 59. And not understanding how powerful our words are, she spoke out of her mouth what came from her heart. I don't ever want to get old. Well, at 59, it's kind of debatable. You're not old. But 60 now, you're turning a corner. Did the devil use that as a legal right to kill her? Well, you say you're making up stories now. You're making up trails that you can't prove one way or the other. And she's dead anyway, so what the fuck does it matter now? Or was it the sin in your life that opened up the door for the devil to take just a fucking killer shot and wipe her out? Or where was God? Why didn't he protect her? Oh, now we want to point a finger at the one we should not be pointing a finger at. So you don't want, no. In theory, in truth, was he aware that this was going to happen? Yes. Was there any stopping it from God's point of view? No. Could he have stopped it? Yes. Is he to blame because he didn't stop it? No. No. Absolutely not. I was 25. I'm still living home with my mother. I worked here and there best I could find a job, but basically I was just kind of a motorcycle riding, guitar playing, woman chasing, pleasure seeking, selfish human. Sure, I contributed to the finances of the household because without it we wouldn't have a household to have anything to contribute to. But how much time did I spend home with my mom? I was out racing and ramming and living, chasing, what young men do, especially if you look good like I did. I was a handsome young man, not like now, but I ain't too shabby for an old fart. But here's the deal. There came a time when I went out, it was, well, it's an interesting thing because shortly after my mother came home from the hospital, she sat me down. I go, oh, here we go. She goes, I want you to do something for me. I said, Mom, what is it? What could I do for you? I want you to go up to the community college and I want you to apply for a course. Oh, now wait, this just opened up a whole nother section that happened prior to this. Can we bookmark that spot? Because that's a very important spot and that's where I want to go. But this is very important also. Okay. Prior to this happening, remember in August? Okay, I was on the motorcycle. Well, I also had a job working for the Department of Public Works of Syracuse, New York. I was a truck driver on a vacant lot crew, which was funded through a Democratic grant to clean up the long overdue parks and well, not the parks, but the vacant lots that were in the city that were overrun, and you would go in there with a crew of guys with a truck, and we would pick up the papers and we would clean, and it would look nice after we were done, because we really took pride. I mean, it was a nice. I loved it. I had a great bunch of guys. Oh my God, some wonderful fellas, for the most part. But this particular day, I had and he just happened to be a black guy, so fuck it, that's what he was. He was a black guy. And he was a real cocksucker. I don't give a fuck. I'm not being prejudiced. This guy sucked. I will tell you what he did. I noticed that this dude was missing on the job, so I went to look for him. I find this guy with another of his accomplices. They had a little child. They couldn't have been 10 years old by the fucking shirt. Real life. He's got him like this. The kid's crying, scared shitless. He goes, you're going to take me in so I can fuck your mother right in front of you. Strike me dead, Lord, if I'm lying. Nope. I think you've seen enough of me to realize this is wrong in so many directions, and I'm not sure how to deal with it. I could feel myself start to shake from the inside out. A fury rose in me. Whew. But I was a coward. I didn't have the balls to go up and kick him right in the fucking nuts. Or kick his knee out from under him and break his fucking leg. Didn't have the balls. But I had the fury. I said, hey, let the kid go. Get your fucking ass back to work. I got a little bit of mouth from him. That solidified the deal right there. The day's end, and it was on a Friday too. Day's end. I'm in the truck driving, 6-wheel dump truck. I got a black guy next to me, and this prick out by the door. We had to get up on Route 81 and go a little ways to get off of the city because we were heading back to Canal Street. He looks at me, goes, so much to these words. Honky motherfucker. You're going to let me out right here, and you're going to go back and punch out my card so nobody will ever know you let me out right here. Coming down the off-ramp of the highway, I look, this just happened. I not planned, it just happened. Oh, hey, your door's ajar. He unlocks the door, I push the motherfucker out. Still rolling down the road. Have fun, you cocksucker. He hits the fucking ground. I don't know what the fuck became of him. He didn't go under the wheel, so fuck you. The other guy's sitting there like this, oh my God, you just threw the motherfucker out the car. We were doing 20 miles an hour. Oh, doesn't it suck to be him? All right, coward jumps up in my chest. I better never see this motherfucker again, ever. I went in, I quit my job. Boom! Fuck it, I'm done. Done. Quit. I was scared shitless to ever see this prick again. He was a nasty, strong, creepy looking motherfucker, and I definitely didn't want to fuck with him. Although I guess I just kind of made an impression that he probably remembers to this day. That dude he called a honky motherfucker that gave him a ration of shit for trying to rape some little kid's mother in front of the little kid, bounced his fucking skank ass down the side of the road. Is that legal? Fuck no. Was it justified? Apparently. Adios, bitch. So what does that have to do with your mother? Well, we needed that job. And I came home without it. But when she heard the evidence of what I presented to her, she said, attaboy. Attaboy. I bet fucking her was the last thing that came on his mind when he bounced off the guardrail. I guess probably it was. So I went to see my dad. I said, Dad, I'm out of a job. He goes, geez, you know, you came at the wrong time, George. He had a business. I'm a little flat right now. I'm in between jobs and I just don't have anything other than sweeping the floor for you, and I'm not giving you $8 an hour to sweep my fucking floor. You did that when you were 13. I said, I didn't come here for that. Well, what would you come here for? To ask you, you said that if I ever wanted to go to college, even though you didn't respect the fact that I earned my GED, my high school equivalency exam, which is another miracle, you would foot the bill for me to go to college. Son, sit down. Have you figured out what you want to be in life? Well, no. Let me get this straight. You want me to foot the bill for something you don't know what the fuck you're doing? Doesn't that about sound right, Pappy? Yeah. Aren't you the kid I said, you know, kid, you're fucking up a lot lately. You know what they call somebody that fucks up a lot lately? No, what is it, Dad? A fuck up. And you've got it down to a science. Well, how encouraging for your dad to call you a fuck up. Of course, looking at my track record, he really couldn't say too much other than that. I was a fuck up. And actually, I didn't see any fucking redeemable quality in me other than the fact I breathed air and I could ride a motorcycle. He said, all right, hang on. We got to get you started somehow. If you're ever going to be anything more than a complete douchebag, he didn't mince words. I mean, it was easy to understand him because you knew exactly what the fuck he was saying. He didn't pat you on the head and fuck you in the ass. He just kicked you down the stairs. I mean, metaphorically, he was never, ever, ever cruel to me that way. What would you like to take? And it blurts out my mouth, photography and art. Let me see your feet. You got fucking sandals on? What, you got flowers in your fucking hair? You back to smoking marijuana again? Are you one of these? No, what the fuck? I've always been good at art. I said, yeah, I know you have. All right. I'll foot the bill for 1 semester. It's up to you after that. You're going to have to actually get a fucking job. I know it's a hard word for you. 3 letters, J-O-B. A fucking job. I know you loathe the fact that you actually get up in the morning and go someplace to earn a fucking living, but most of the rest of the world has to do this, kid. You got to catch on. Eventually, it isn't just Hey, can I have $3 to get gas for my motorcycle so I go looking for pussy? Sure. That gravy train has come and gone a long time ago. All right. So, with this understanding under your belt, my mother comes up with this idea after the heart attack. This is before the heart attack. She goes, you have to take a photography class. I said, well, I'm art and scuba diving. She goes, no, you got to take a photography class. Fuck, this was September something. She said, you got to do it. All right. I got in the car and I scooted up to OCC. Lo and behold, it was the very last hour of the very last day you could even apply for such a thing. But I got it. And I came home. I said, yep, Mom, I got it. I go up on Ainsley Drive, next week at such and such a time. And I'll begin the photography class. She goes, oh, that's wonderful, son. That's wonderful. I go, how the fuck could this be one? Well, all right, I'll go with it. Yeah, give me a hug, I hope you're ready for this. Okay. Now, I'm 25 years old. My hair is down to here. Blonde. Beautiful. Gorgeous hair. Had little whiskers, but no mustache. It was just barely a little. You would have to seduce a caterpillar to lay across your fucking lip to have a mustache. The facial hair didn't grow worth a shit. It was spratty. Just enough you had to fucking get the rat hairs off because you looked like a plucked chicken. But no whiskers like this. This is fucking huge. So I take the course. Now, as a 25-year-old kid would be, as hornier than a fucking billy goat, I naturally scan the crowd to see if there's any productive women that I might fuck. Or at least have a relationship with and fuck. And there was only one that stood out to me. The rest of them, not so much. So this one, I struck up a conversation with, and I told you I was sharp looking. Well, I didn't realize what kind of woman this was. Now, I say woman, she was maybe 20. I was 25. I didn't realize, whoa. All right. So sure enough, she was willing to talk to me, and she was I started to warm up to her, as you do. And I didn't deliberately have ideas any more than I would have otherwise. So I said, I got a nice motorcycle. Would you like to go for a ride on my Kawasaki? She goes, I love motorcycles. I haven't been on a bike in a while. Yeah, I'd love to go. When would you like to go? So we went out for a ride, and I took her to lunch, and everything went well. And she goes, couldn't we stop and get a few beers? Or maybe I'd have a gin and tonic or something. I go, oh, what the fuck? I said, oh, God, how much money do I got? Fuck. Money's an issue if you don't work. Maybe we ought to do this another day. She goes, no. He says, my treat. Oh, fuck that. Yeah, sure. Zoop, right to the bar. So we sit there and we converse and have a few pops. And it doesn't take too long, and I'm starting to feel it. And I go, you know what, fuckstick? You're driving the bike. Snip this in the bud right here and now. Be done with this horse shit. Okay, so we get on the bike. She goes, I've got a couple hours before I need to be home. What would you like to do? What the fuck? You're asking me? You shitting me? Are you serious? So we go back to my house, my mother's house, and I got something with attics, I guess. I lived up in the attic, and I had this great big master bedroom that looked out over the valley in Syracuse, and I loved it. And a great big full-size bed. I'm not giving you the full lowdown on the whole situation, but suffice to say, the evil deed was done. And as sometimes happens when you're young, you think back on this experience and wonder, what the fuck? I sure hope she has wounded beaver season next month, or I'm probably not going to be in great shape. And lo and behold, sometimes women will be kind and tell you, well, you know, I'm feeling a little out of sorts right now, and I'm meaner than a motherfucker. Oh, I understand. Okay, the beaver bit you. I got it. No problem. Okay, we got you. But that didn't happen. The haunting of guilt begins to creep in. How do you gently ask somebody if it's wounded beaver season? Fuck it. Hey, did you have a period this month? Yeah, I was on the rag last week. Bless Jesus. You know, I know. I told you, this shit has payday. Everything you do in life either is going to pay you dividends or it's going to cost you way the fuck more than you think. All right. So lo and behold, but she said, listen, I don't ever want to have sex with you again. I said, was that bad? She says, no, I just don't want to. I said, fine. Can we still go out though? Oh yeah, I'll be your friend, but I ain't going to bed with you again. It bothered me. I didn't know you well enough for that. And I realized we had drank and, you know, I got carried away too. So I'm not blaming you, not completely, but I don't like the fact that you didn't realize I was that drunk. I mean, she wasn't a basket case, but there's a time and a place. There's a time and a fucking place. And that was neither of the two. All right. So I went home and my mind's chewing on me. I got a piece of paper and I said, Lord, I repent. I know this shitty lifestyle is not right. So a poem came to mind. It just started with one word. That's what every art thing I ever did starts. It's just one spot on the page. And once you start the one spot, it flushes itself out. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but at the end of it, I look, wow, that's cool. That's really cool. I didn't know it was the Holy Spirit. I was born again too at this time. Whew! But it's a process. Your body, you don't catch up to the fact instantly. It's a process that grows like a tree. It doesn't just boop instantly grow. It takes time. So this beautiful, it really was. I couldn't spell for shit, but anyway, like the way I spelt Louisiana in the last, I spelt Louisiana in such a way it fucked up spell checker. It said, fuck this. When you can get spell checker to say fuck it, you've done something. In my oddball way of looking at things. So I wrote this beautiful poem to her, and the next time we had class, I presented it to her. And she read it and she cried. I said, oh my God, did I hurt you? She says, nobody's ever wrote anything like that to me. She said, thank you, George. Come here. Nice hug. No kiss, no reach around, but I got a hug. I know. So I say, you really care? Yo, I'm never going to get rid of this. All right. She says, would you do me a favor? So what is it? I'd like to take you up to Tupper Lake on a motorcycle. I mean, you take me to Tupper Lake on a motorcycle. Can we go tomorrow night? Sure. I had like 20 bucks in my pocket. Now 20 bucks back then is like 150 bucks now. You could get breakfast for 99 cents. Full breakfast. Toast, eggs, coffee, home fries, and bacon or sausage. $1. Anyway, I don't know where the fuck Tupper Lake. I know it's head east and go north from Syracuse. I don't know how far away that is. So we leave on the Kawasaki and away we go. Now she's sitting on the back. No, it's comfortable as could be. Got a cooler strapped to the back. I got a picture of this somewhere. Strapped to the back of the bike, and away we go. get through Utica, up through the, oh my God, we're going. And fuck, I left at like noon, and son of a bitch. Well, remember, this is early October, wasn't it? Yeah. So it was starting to get cold. And up there, it gets fucking cold, fast. I had a pair of light leather gloves, but fuck me. You're being pulled through the atmosphere, and it looked like it was going to start raining. So we were up there maybe an hour and a half, 2 at the most. Didn't even stop to get a cup of coffee. Maybe to take a piss. Got back on the bike and headed for Syracuse. Now it got dark. Cold as a motherfucker. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for that 4-cylinder engine that I could put my hands on, stopped at the side of the road, it just warmed my hands enough they weren't fucking numb. I go, this is the most excruciating fucking experience I think I've had at that time. Oh, I couldn't get her home fast enough. To her house. Left her off, made it back to the house, and now fast forward until the 1st of December. 1st of December, my mother was in the back bedroom. She was watching Billy Graham, and to my knowledge, she had stopped smoking cigarettes. But it's not easy when you start at 13. I was talking to some girl I just picked up at a bar 3 nights before. Her name was Angel from California. But what does that mean? You'll find out. Nice, I think she was a nice lady. I never saw her again. My mother walks into the bathroom, and she's in there for longer than I expected. And I got that deep down creepy feeling again. Oh, this is a tsunami creepy feeling. Angel, what, Georgie? I have to go now. All right, bye-bye. Mom! Mom! Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. She's laying on the floor, purple. Her eyes are open, her tongue's hanging out. I never heard sounds. I never heard sounds come out of me like that. I've never cried like that in my life. I picked her up in my arms. And I wept, and I wept, and I wept, and I wept, and I wept. I howled like a dog. And I picked her up best I could. She's a little frail woman, maybe 110 pounds, soaking wet. I was a strong, strapping young man. I could barely pick the woman off the ground. But I picked her up in my arms, and I took her to her bed, and I laid her down in the bed, and I put her hands like this, and I closed her eyes. And then I got on my motorcycle. Oh, I called my sister. She lived just up on top of the hill in an apartment with her boyfriend at the time, Jacques, an Iranian dude. He's cool looking. He looked like Ben Cartwright on the Bonanza. Got on my motorcycle. It's colder than a motherfucker. 1st of December. Rag of a tire in the back. Too many burnouts. And one driving thing. I flew up to the apartment because she wouldn't answer the fucking phone. She was ahead of the curve. She didn't answer the fucking phone then. Now people don't answer the motherfucker now. Bang on the door. She comes dressed as a geisha girl. She was wearing geisha girl looking shit. What a gorgeous woman though. Oh, my sister was fucking beautiful. Built like a brick shit house. Smoking hot. Smoking hot. And she goes, what's the matter? Why the hell are you here at this hour of the night? I said, Mom's dead. Oh. And she burst into tears and, you know, we have a hug and she goes, is she in the hospital? I said, no, she's laying in bed. What? You fucking idiot? She's what? She's laying in the bed? What the fuck's the matter with you? Bah! She gets on the phone. I don't even know if 911 was there then. She, fuck this. It gets an ambulance race to the fucking house. Get in my fucking car. I said, follow me home. I'm on a bike. I don't give a fuck. Go. We haul ass down to the fucking house. Now, this has been a while. This isn't a Lazarus story where she's been dead 4 days and she stank. This is, she's just about got rigor mortis though. We get back to the house. Next thing you know, the fucking emergency vehicle gets there. They run in, grab Mom, yank her off the fucking bed onto the floor, strip her fucking ass naked. I'm doing this shit. I will not look. Other than the initial, I did this shit. My sister's looking full well and going, isn't she beautiful? Isn't she fucking beautiful? No, she's deader than a motherfucker. They fucking give her the fucking 3 or 4 of these fucking things. Not a peep. Race her to the hospital. Happened to be Jay Williams, was one of my friends that I played guitar with. He was one of the paramedics. Just a coincidence. Well, she was pronounced dead on arrival. I will say one more thing. While I was holding my mother in my arms and crying, I said, Jesus, do not bring my mother back. Keep her. Keep her. I said, her life has been hard enough. So I wasn't surprised when I drove, or my sister let me back off at the house. Now, I had another problem with a dude on the job. I guess this was well, anyway, I wasn't working. Unemployment was only maybe 2 or 3 more checks. We didn't own the house we lived in. I came home back to that house and it was empty. I mean, it was so fucking empty. It was almost like a black hole. It was fucking empty. It was nobody. Just me. For the first time. And the grief was so unimaginably huge. And there was such a hole deep inside me where my mother used to be. I grabbed our old Bible. It's about this big. It was Nathaniel Beers's Bible. He was a reverend back in the Civil War days, my great-great-grandfather. I grabbed that huge Bible and I crawled up the stairs to the room and I fell on my knees and I cried out to God with everything that was in me. I said, dear God, I'm an orphan. Well, except for my dad. I said, I don't know what's going to become of me. I'm so scared. If ever I needed you now, would you give me a word? Open the Bible. I crack it open. Yep. Isaiah 43. Hang on a minute. And then we're going to end this because I don't want to start the whole day crying. Give me my glasses. Isaiah 43. All right. Okay, Isaiah 43, I read. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not. For I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. Since thou was precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. I fucking lost it right there. I just turned into a river of tears. How in the hell could you say that I've been honorable when I'm nothing but a scumbag, sex addict, drug-induced fucking piece of shit? How can you possibly say this to me? I'm a worthless piece of shit. Therefore will I give men for thee and people for thy life. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far and my daughters from the ends of the earth. Everyone that is called by my name. For I have created him for my glory. I have formed him. Yes, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes. Here's my command. And the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, this is the truth. You are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me, him, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, and neither shall there be after me. Even I am the Lord, and beside me there is no Savior. I have declared and have saved and have showed when there was no strange, small g God among you. Therefore you are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. Yes, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? And it goes on and on. I'll tell you what. Look at this place. In the due process of time, the fellow that my mother had kind of snagged the house out from under, Richard Byrne, became the owner of the house. I was given an eviction notice to get out by, I think I had 6 weeks. The house was full of furnishings as a house would be. Cups and glasses and all kinds of plates and things. And all kinds of spoons and household accoutrements. And my sister, because my mother died without a will, she got my mother's wedding ring, her 1 carat plus diamond ring, the choicest things from the house that were the lightest and easiest and worth the most. My brother, brokenhearted, flew in from California. He had a business, and his wife had 2 businesses. They were doing all they were doing. He asked for the pecan wood dining room set. My sister, she said, well, you'll have to buy it. He's the firstborn. I didn't understand this at the time. He's got to buy it. But being brokenhearted, I'm just fucking hanging on for dear life. I'm scared shitless. I don't have a job. I'm running out of money. I've only got a little while to go some fucking place with all this stuff in the house, and I have no fucking clue where I'm going. The only thing I had was God's word to hang on to. So my brother goes, okay. All right. But I want it delivered here to my house in California. Brother Gary, I have nowhere to go. You do now. Rent yourself a truck from Ryder. When the day comes, fill it up. Put your motorcycle in the back. Get as much of this stuff in there as you can. Make sure that nothing happens to this pecan wood. I'll paper you for the journey. And my friend Karl Lutz, he says, Brute, you ain't going alone. I'm going to tell my dad tonight I'm going to California with Brute. That's what they call me, Brute. His dad goes, Karl, what the hell are you talking about? We got work to do at the shop. Dad, Brute needs me. So we got the Ryder truck with all the stuff in there. And a journey begins to go to California. Listening to Charlie Daniels, Allman Brothers, Marshall Tucker, smoking pot. Stopped and got a great big bottle of his cheap-ass wine somewhere just before Ohio. Drank that slithering bunch of shit. Remember, this is the end of January, headed for February. Going west. I got tired of driving. I said, Carly, I'm drunker than a bastard. I need the rest. Pull it over. I'll take over from here. All right, Carly. Puts a cigarette out. Gets behind the wheel. We're driving along. I'm just kind of bobbing like this, you know, going, oh my God, what the fuck is happening? Boom! Boom, 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 boom. What the fuck? What the fuck? Holy shit, Brute, something's wrong, Brute. Pulls the fucking thing over to the side of the road with a fucking straightaway. There's not a fucking thing to be seen at any direction. Ring it, boom! Ring, boom, boom! What the fuck? It won't start. What the fuck you do to it, Carly? Fuck! Brute, I didn't do nothing. I'm driving the fucking thing. Boom! It starts going apeshit. He starts to cry. I said, hang on, Carly, hang on. I'm the alpha male here. In my own mind. All right, fuck it. We got to do something. What the fuck are we going to do? Oh, no cell phones back then. Cars and trucks going by. Holy shit. Pitch fucking black. Fuck. He goes, well, Brute, didn't you get some information from the Ryder people that we could have, there's a helpline you could call? Fuck yeah. Good thinking, Carly. Good thinking. All right. Go rifling through the fucking paperwork. Yeah, here it is right here. Well, Brute, we're going to have to lock the truck up and walk down the street. Oh, fuck. Where the fuck are we? I don't know, Brute, but we'll leave the blinkers going. The battery will hold it for a while. All right, fuck it. Boy, that'll sober your shit up quick. Start walking. We're walking. There's a slight arc to the right and an overpass. Oh, fuck, an overpass. Lo and behold, we were probably 1.5 to 2 miles from a service station. You gotta be shitting me. Middle of the night, motherfuckers are open. What? Make the call. Hello, it's Ryder. Yep. 24-hour service. Yeah, we can have a guy there in no time. Where are you? Okay. I'll send a tow truck. We can tow the truck to the shop where you are. We'll have it fixed in no time, Mr. Davis. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Brute, we got any more weed? Yeah, but hang on to it. Hang the fuck on to it. All right. They got the TV on. Boom! Flashes. Extreme ice storm due in a half an hour. All right. Mechanic gets there, checks it out, goes, fuck. Boom! What the fuck? Distributor. The fucking little wheel on the bottom of the distributor, there's a little pin that goes in, holds the bitch in place. The pin said, fuck it. And it boom, 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 it's fucking firing whenever the fuck it feels like it, but not on time. Well, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do with this truck at this time. I'll have another truck brought up here. I hate to tell you this, but you're going to have to take the contents of the back of this truck, an 18-foot Ryder truck, and put it in this truck, and then you can have a merry day. I'll do all the paperwork for you. This is the way it's going to go. All right, what the fuck? I guess we got a job, Carl. Oh, fuck. 18-foot packed to the blowhole with a 900 Kawasaki. My amplifiers and my one guitar. I think I had one guitar at the time. But I had my cowboy hat. We were ready to go. All right, by dawn, we had the shit moved and we were back on the road again. We found out that ice storm was so severe, there was hundreds of cars all fucked up. We weren't, because we didn't get to go that far that night. Bing. Bing. So what looked like a horrible fucking tragedy was a miracle. The first of many. I'll cut to the chase because this could get real fucking long. Remember that letter that I wrote to that girl? Well, after I'd been in California for a while, I was so brokenhearted that when my tax refund money came, I said, fuck this. I was in an A&W root beer stand that my brother had rented to put his cars behind. He had a custom paint and body shop, which was cool as fuck. But there was also a train track that was 20 feet from the window where I slept. And they changed cars in the middle of the fucking night, and prostitutes walked up and down the fucking street. You want some pussy? You got pussy galore. There's all kinds of pussy. And you'll end up at the clinic for sure. You might as well just go get a bed at the clinic if you want any of this shit. And automatic rifles, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, real life. We fixed a lot of bullet holes in cars. You know what the little Mexicans like to do? No offense to Mexicans. They call them vato locos. Never heard of it in my life. They get a guy in the back seat, in the trunk of a car with a pistol, and they're driving along, and they hit the fucking button, the thing, boom, 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 he shoots whoever the fuck's behind them. Empties the fucking gun into the car, whoever the fuck they are. That's sport. Aren't you welcome in California, the land of fruits and nuts? I couldn't get the fuck out of there fast enough. I said, fuck this. I flew home, left my shit there in the A&W. Fuck it, abandoned the shit. I end up here. My dad, I was surprised, was actually glad to see me. for about a half an hour. Wasn't too long, I got thrown the fuck out the house. He accused me of trying to seduce his wife. I wouldn't fuck that wench with a bamboo pole. Drunk. I had zero interest in that woman. None. Her breath stank. She was a creepy bitch who wouldn't even give Dad any pussy. What the fuck would I want with this wicked bitch? Want nothing to do with her. Tossed out the fucking house. Well, we almost went to blows that time. It was all over a stupid book called Rogues and Wenches, A Carnal Carnival. Never forget the name of it. It was sitting on the table. I saw it. I didn't even read it. I'm not into that bullshit. That's what women read. Women that don't put out no pussy read that shit. What? Well, maybe somebody's getting it, but Dad ain't getting dookie. And he wanted it. His whole life was built around pussy and work. But pussy probably first. Work to get the pussy. At any event, I bounced from house to house, house to house, house to house throughout the summertime. And then I get a call when I was staying at Tommy Parks' house. His parents let me stay there as long as I would work. I had to work. Get your fucking ass off the couch, George. There's a house to paint. No problem. No problem, Mr. Park. We're gone. And I did the very best. I always did the very fucking best I could do at whatever I was given. If he was cleaning shit out of a fucking litter box, I'm the dude. If it's whatever it is, I will do my very best all the time. That's the only kind of job I'll do. All right. I get a phone call. My dad's in tears. I go, what? I know where I was. I wasn't at Parks's. I was staying with Doug Ramsey and his wife in Mattydale. A Jehovah's Witness dude. Yeah, believe it or not. The very guy that was there when I got born again. The only thing he ever witnessed for Jehovah was me getting my ass born again, as far as I know. So anyway, lo and behold, I said, Doug, I appreciate being able to stay here, but would you mind giving me a ride back to Otisco, to my dad's? My sister Helen has got leukemia in California. I'm going to have to return. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Did we go to prayer? I doubt it. Because they don't believe God does miracles. He doesn't heal. Basically, as far as they're concerned, he really don't do shit. In any event, while I'm at Dad's this time, the phone rings. Hello, Georgie. Who's this? It was the girl from the photography course. I hope I didn't bother you, but me and my girlfriend tracked you down through Social Security. Oh, fuck. I knocked the bitch up? You did? Yes. My girlfriend read that poem that you wrote to me, and she fell in love with you. She did what? Yeah, she's a nurse. She's a nurse? That's right. She wants to meet you. She does? What's she look like? You'll see. When can you come and get me? I can't come and get you. I don't have any ride. I mean, it's fucking the Thumb Express. I don't have any way to get anywhere. Then I'll come to you. I'll give people for thy life. All right. I told her how to get to my dad's place, and before too long, she arrived. Now, I was doing almost 100 push-ups every day. I fucking looked like Tarzan. I mean, I didn't weigh about 172 pounds. 6 foot tall. Strong as a motherfucker. For me. Other people are way stronger. Way richer, way everything than me. So she comes to the house. She goes, holy shit. She says, you been lifting weights? I said, what are you talking about? She said, man, you look fucking hot. I said, oh, you think so? Not that hot. Oh, fuck. Never fails. Couldn't beg, borrow, or steal no pussy. So, lo and behold, we go to her girl. I'm purposely not telling you the names of these women. So she takes me there to meet this woman. Now, this woman, on first glance, she was alive. I mean, she's a woman. I wasn't sporting wood. I didn't get the warm fuzzies. But she's willing to make dinner, so I didn't eat that day, so all right. We sit down, have dinner, and she said, would you lead us in prayer? Oh. Bing, 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 bing. She's starting to make some fucking kudos. All right, sure. Lead us in prayer. Now, she's got 3 kids, but they're with her dad, or with their father at the time. So I didn't get to meet the 3 kids yet. All right. So we have dinner, we get talking, and she says, you know, she goes, I never read anything like what you wrote to this, my friend. She said, honestly, I fell in love with you. I said, how the hell can you feel in love with him? She said, I'm looking at a man that is fucking gorgeous. I would take you to bed within seconds. You want to go? Well, I know it's a busy schedule for a guy with no employment, no place to live, and no car, and no future. And you're offering me sex? Well, and under those duress circumstances, I suppose I could dust the shit off for you. What do you need? You need a full fucking lube job, or what the hell would you like? We into the room, and next thing you know, she's howling like a bastard, feet kicking in the air, shit flying in all directions. And hell, I only used 1 finger. Enough story. How do you tell these stories and then talk about God? How does my life actually unfold any other way? You won't hear a priest talk about this. I don't want to hear what priests talk about. A lot of things I don't want to know. So at the end of that experience, away I go, fly back to California going, what the fuck? What the fuck? What a bizarre experience. I'm not at California this time. This was in September again. And I did have a friend named Lindy Bromstead, a Mexican fellow who was a body and fender dude. He was fucking awesome. His father was killed on Christmas Eve night by a drug-induced fucking drug dealer who got the wrong house and shot his dad dead. Prior to this experience. But he hated that motherfucker, and he swore he would kill him someday. When he got out of prison, he was a dead man. I was trying to explain to Lindy, you need to forgive. It's easy for you to say. All right. Lo and behold, things aren't going so good in California. I got to the lowest of my very low. I was kneeling on the floor of the A&W, and I said, Lord God, I said, I am so gutted. I miss my mother. I miss my life. I miss New York. If my life is never going to be anything more than what it's been, would you please kill me? I'm serious. Not just, I was serious. Would you please kill me right now? I want to die because I can't live like this. Then I blurt out, or would you take me back home? All right, when I got done crying, I woke up the next day to the sound of normal things in California. And it was time to go to work at my brother's across the street. So I walked over to the shop. It was cold that morning. California has a fog that sets in overnight. It's damp and it's cold. 50 feels cold. It gets hot as a motherfucker shortly thereafter. You can't see because of the smog and the shit that's burning your fucking eyes. But aside from that, so I get in there and I start working on a fender of a car. John G, the phone's for you. Oh, fuck. New York, long distance. Oh, fucking A, all right. All right, hello? Hello, George? What? This is the name of the lady that got the lube job. Yeah? God told me to bring you home last night at such and such an hour. He did? Yes. You just let me know how much money to send. I'm going to bring you home. Yeah. You better know you're going to come up against opposition real fast when God opens the door for you. My brother-in-law immediately took me aside and said, what kind of a rotten piece of shit are you? You would accept this from a woman. I would have taken it from a fucking lizard at that point. I didn't give a fuck. Get me the fuck out of here. You selfish prick. Yep. Label me selfish prick. From this side to that side. Get me the fuck out of here. Okay. You have no integrity, do you? Who gives a fuck? Let's get the fuck out of here. We'll figure that out later. One step at a time. So he says, you know that, oh, I came to California with only a motorcycle, but I wasn't going back home with only a motorcycle because my brother owed me for that fucking furniture that I got stuck in the ass for. He wasn't going to pay me. Really? I barely got to the fucking place on fumes a day early to come to a place with the door kicked off the fucking back of the place with no hot water. You could sit on the toilet and brush your fucking teeth because that's the way it was. And then there was knife marks in the door that they had ripped the fuck off the back. And dog shit up to your knees. Barbed wire, razor wire around the place. Welcome to boot camp, humble. Get me the fuck out of here. Okay, so lo and behold, I end up with a 69 El Camino SS. The one with a cool hood. Oh, and it sit back in his backyard. Oh, rust, zero. None. Never seen rust a day in its life. In fact, when you take the hubcaps off, watch what the fuck you're doing because there's a black widow spider behind every one of them. Shiny black with a red hourglass on the fucking abdomen. Bet your fucking ass. How the fuck do I know? But they're there. Open the hood, clean the dust off, and look at the carburetor. It's full of rat shit. Honest God, rat turds. Magnum for a mouse, but this is a serious rat turd. Loaded. Does it run? Well, if we put wires on it and, spruce it up a little, it may. All right. Well, the mechanics love me. They jumped onto that fucking job. You know why I talk about Swanky and the Yardbirds? These were the Yardbirds. They transformed that car and painted it Starburst blue. It was fucking gorgeous. You looked at that and it was gorgeous. It was the darkest, deepest. The only thing that same color was the color of the Pacific Ocean. It was fucking navy blue. It sparkled like a motherfucker. It was a shame to bring it to New York. White bucket seats out of a Camaro. 4-speed. Headers. Oh, fuck yeah. And my brother-in-law let me use the wheels and tires off that he was storing at my brother's. Until he found out that I'm going back to New York. I want my fucking money. Those are my wheels and tires. What the fuck do you want from me? I ain't got no money. I expect they pay for that. I imagine you do. I get a fucking phone call from my grandfather. You lazy, worthless piece of shit. Your mother's funeral expenses are coming due and you haven't put a penny towards it. Nor has your brother or your sister. How the fuck do you think you're supposed to go through life like this, you worthless cocksucker? He didn't mince words either. Oh, that'll build you up. Oh, but the story, we could be here all day, but we're not gonna. Cut to the chase. She sends me $3,600, which back then might have been 10 grand in today's world, 20 grand in today's world. $3,600 and flies her ass out to California to drive back with me. We had to tow the El Camino behind this Ryder truck. That's the only way it was going to work. I'm coming back papered in my eyes. I mean, it was a luxurious way the fuck out of California. And I'm coming back, and we didn't go to that place she rented and this creepy spot in town. She got a house on Tennyson Avenue on a Tully Lake. Just about 18 miles from where I live right now, on a lake. Great big 3-story fucking place. With her and her 3 kids that I'd never met before, and that girlfriend. Well, the story. Cut to the chase. We get there, we get settled. I find that I'm not liking this job of being a kept man, where whenever the knock on the door happens, I'm supposed to perform. You would think, oh, how glorious it is. Woman takes care of all your needs, and all you have to do is dust the beaver once in a while. Or quite a few times whenever she wants to. She just clicks her fingers and nail it. Well, in your mind, it might sound like a wonderful idea. But what it does to your fucking soul. You want to feel empty? You want to feel like a worthless piece of shit? You want to look in the mirror and go, you really can't look in the mirror. That'll do it for you. And there's a wonderful way out of this. But I'm going to cut to the chase because some of the best parts I'm going to leave out purposely. Cut to the chase, forward to the reality. I end up moving all my stuff here in the tool shop with lathes and milling machines and drill presses and grinders all around my shit. I'm living here. Until the day comes when Beverly's going to divorce her husband. This will be divorce number 2. But after she already sucked thousands of dollars out of him so he could refurbish her house, and then she sticks him in the ass, takes the money, and says, fuck you. Now you're going to pay for me for life. Oh, how exciting life can get. So he goes, listen, I'm not feeding you down here living with me anymore. What? You know, you're out sailing all day long and gallivanting on your motorcycle and having a life of fucking Riley while I'm footing the bill. Come here, son. Sit down. Don't even sit down. You don't have time to sit down. If your skank ass hasn't got a job by sunset, I'm sending you down the fucking road today. Woo! What? I will provide people for your life. Today? Out here in the fucking countryside? What do? Lord, I've got a situation here. I've got till sunset to find a job. Is that somehow supposed to be a problem, son? Is that a problem? Is that really a problem? What should I do? What did you do? Here, you began. All you got to do is begin, and I will flush out all the rest of it for you as we go. Not telling you in advance. All right, it's called walking by faith. It's fucking awesome once you get the hang of it. It scares the fuck out of you at first. All right. Well, what do? Get in the car. Or get on. Yes, I did. I had the 69 El Camino. Get in the El Camino. All right. Head toward Marcellus. All right. And away we go. Nice day for it. Probably might have been May, sometime in May. Driving along, I see some guys working on a house down by the lake. Go on down there and talk to them. All right. Fucking A, it's Jackie Clark working with my old fiance's husband, David. What? Coincidence. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Brute, what's going on, man? Good to see you out here. Yeah. You guys know where I could find a job? You need anybody here on the job? Fuck no. We don't need anybody here. But why don't you go down to Mike's Millworks in Marcellus? They might need you. All right. Well, I've got somewhere to go. Go down. I see the place. Oh, it's got fucking picnic tables made out of wood, stacked up so fucking high, it took a Pettibone high lift to reach up and place the fuckers. It was the way he advertised for, he built sheds and cut hardwood and softwood, and it was a sawmill. All right. So I don't know exactly how to get into the place, but oh, here's a driveway. I'll come down there, and here's this real skinny dude. Oh, wiry as a motherfucker. Probably kicked my ass but he was a strong country boy. Name was Scotty. I go, hey, buddy. I said, you wouldn't need any help, would you? He goes, oh, what a fucking cool car. Oh, you need any help? Yeah, we sure as fuck do. You do? Who do I see? Oh, you'll have to see Mike, the owner, and you'll probably have to talk to his wife, Joanne. All right. Can you turn me on to him? Sure, come with me. He's got a big fucking, he looked like a fucking hamster. He had so much tobacco in his fucking cheek. He's spitting that dog shit out all over the place, running down his face, whatever the fuck. So we get talking, and lo and behold, this guy, Mike, we seemed to hit it off pretty decent. He was a couple years older than I was, not as tall as me, but ooh. You work around any kind of serious lumber and stuff, you're strong, but a nice guy. Hired on the spot. Only a few cents more than minimum wage, but it was a fucking job. Okay, when do I start? Tomorrow morning. Whoa. Got no grace period where I can slip out and get stoned and drunk for a while? No. You start tomorrow morning. All right. Be here at such and such a time and don't be late. Okay. Scoot my ass back to my pappy. Pappy! What is it, George? Sound like me and Squawk? A little. I got a job. What? I got a job. Don't lie to me, son. I ain't fucking lying. I got a job. They start tomorrow. Yes! Really? Yes. All right, fuck it. Let me make you something to eat. He wrestled me some food right off the bat. He's happier than a motherfucker. Oh, he didn't want to send me down the fucking road. It was a hard thing for him to do. He wouldn't admit it. But it was a hard thing for him to do. He didn't want to send me down the fucking road. And neither did God. So, I began my job at the sawmill, where if you thought I looked good before, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because after a summer of that, whoo, you were soaking wet 5 minutes after you punched the clock in the morning and you busted your fucking balls. I'm talking about at 25 years, 26 years of age, I was fucking beat at the end of the day. I was so tired that I did end up with a really beautiful girlfriend after that, and I was too tired to fuck the girl. I couldn't do it. I was so worn out, I couldn't do it. And she was beautiful. But whatever. So that's the story for today. I'm still here, and God paid the mortgage off on this fucking place twice, because my brother tried to cornhole me out of it, and I had to come up with the money for all the machinery because Dad was $26,000 in debt, which the will ain't worth a fuck till the bills are paid. We would be here for weeks telling you these stories. So I'm going to say, God bless you right here and now. But I'll tell you one thing. You'll never get anybody to treat you better than this. And he ain't movable. I like you today, but I don't like you now. I like you yesterday, but I might not like you in the future. Oh no. Thou art mine. We'll leave it at that.